All right, we're live. This is a live clip. Congratulations. Welcome to what happens to Behind the Curtain. Sus. Everything's sus. Uh, Before we get started, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to Devon's Journey to Recovery. Helping victims of Africom, also a GoFundMe. Helping out Stevie, aka Redneck Economics. Got a Cash App for that. Also, buy Sleepy J a coffee. Helping him out. You know, we got to help each other out, is what we do here. If you haven't heard of these content creators or even the GoFundMe's, check them out, read them, look into them. Just click on it, click it, click it, click it, click it. He's like, click it. Welcome to the Champions Club. That's Dr. Disrespect. I'm a fanboy. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. All right, so what we're gonna be talking about here is, I guess it's two-pronged. It's not only Bernie Sanders' limp dick interview with Krystal Ball, allegedly, but it's also Kyle getting snubbed from the interview as well, which is also allegedly. Let's do this. This is from the Vanguard. Oh, I might be throwing shit at them too. Let's do it. Bernie Sanders snubs Kyle Kulinski on his own podcast, gets grilled by Krystal Ball instead. Let's find out what grilled means. Here we go.
But anyway, I guess one of the best places to get kick-started on this conversation would be something that I've been literally dying to talk about on this podcast.
Sweet
we haven't
Jesus.
got broached it like in full yet, which would be the most recent interview that Bernie Sanders did with Krystal Ball.
I'm gonna have to take down this Bernie poster. I'm gonna have to take it down. You know what? It's coming down. It's coming. I'm done. I'm done, Bernie. Sorry, Bernie, but it's coming down.
Oh no.
It's coming down. We're done. We're done.
Happened.
All right, so I've seen some stuff from these two guys. I don't really know who Swiss Beats looking dude is. I think he's Fred Hampton leftist. Who is he? Get it on the floor. Get it on the floor. What? You don't want to party, then your ass gotta go. All right, here we go.
We can't do this anymore. Not after what he just did. We can't do this anymore. Sorry, Bernie. Yeah. Sorry, Bernie. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
A little bit of context for
Bro, that's Swiss Beats. Yo, Alicia Keys is holding the camera right now. All right, here we go.
For this too, I obviously you were super disappointed. Obviously we were too, but Zach and I were actually just kind of praising Bernie not even like a week or so ago as far as these infrastructure negotiations, talking about like how gangster it was that he set it at 6 trillion and then worked his way down to like 3.5. Like we were like, maybe he's playing the inside game is paying off, all that kind of bullshit.
Yeah, guys. Once again, let me come up with a budget for the humanitarian fund or blah 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 blah, while Nazi Germany is happening right next to me. Let's do that. not talk about it. Come on, bro. You're not gonna get shit done. Like I'm not into politics like that, but just looking at it, dumb guy logic, man. If you're gonna come up with a bill that you think will help the world or make the world better, or a budget that you think will help make things better, but you let Hitler overlook that, like have the higher authority in that, you're fucked. Come on, bro. You are fucked. And even if you got something you wanted, like on paper wanted, you got something like that, like, oh, you'd expect a creeper type of individual to be like, I can use this to my advantage. Let's let this one through. Kind of seems that way. You've heard any rumblings about Medicare for all? That does apply, right? Shout out to Ed. Right? It's not strictly about the policy, it's how it's implemented, right? I've heard Ed say that many a times. So it's like, yeah, maybe Jesus came up with some bill, like here's a perfect policy for this thing, for healthcare. Okay, hand it off to the next guy and he's gonna sign it or whatever the fuck. Like, oh, it's Hitler. Ah, or it's Lucifer, whatever the fuck. Like, oh, I can just stomp on this, fuck it up. Not a thing you wanted in the first place. You're gonna be crying about in 5 years. Like, no, oh no, we want Medicare for all. This time there's 2 alls in it. It's different. It's the same human problem repeated over and over again throughout history, over and over and over again. They think because the context changes that it's not the same core thing. My God, guys. It's like, I read the history books. No one's done this before. Like what? Yeah, no one said cool before in fucking pass as like a slang word. But there's still some sort of meaning for that. Oh, this guy's relaxed. Whatever the fucking word would be. He's tranquil. Here we go.
And then this interview drops. Obviously, shout out to the great Krystal Ball over at Breaking Points and Kyle Krystal and friends.
The great Krystal Ball? Who are these guys? I thought these guys were against those guys. Man, all right. Who is he?
But yeah, needless to say, Bernie's answers were not up to snuff, at least in my opinion. And it seems like a lot of people have had a similar reaction. But let's take a look at a little bit of this to see exactly what Krystal asked him and how he answered. But I thought this was very revealing.
Whatever reason, Biden came into office and he looked around him and he said, you know what? Climate is an existential threat. We have got to deal with it. Yes, the working class has been decimated.
Let me stop Bernie there. Corruption is an existential threat. Straight up. Point. How do you think we got in this? If climate is an existential threat, how come the climate became such a big problem? Who was doing things around the world that caused the climate thing to be such a big problem? It's like, what the fuck? You don't see that? You don't see like BP oil spills or fucking the pollution from these giant corporations. You don't see that? You're like, hey, this type of corruption kind of caused the climate thing in the first place. Now you're asking corruption to fix it. Well, it's mutual destruction. They might. It's like if your strategy sounds like a nuclear strategy, like kind of fucked. Well, what we do is I give you a gun, and I have a gun myself. We point it at each other's heads, and we just follow each other around. And if any one of us fucks up, I'll pull the trigger, but then you'll pull the trigger too, and then we're all dead. Mutual destruction. Let's not do it. That's the logic. That is that logic. Which is why he has to pretend that Joe Biden is not corrupt in order to sell that idea. He has to sell that. There's no way he can straight up just say that and believe it. So he has to say it that way. Here we go.
For decades now, we have got to address that. So what he did that no president, and you correct me if you think I'm misstating this, what he did said, well, we're going to spend 3% more here and 5% more there. What he said, these are the issues. We are going to deal with the needs of the children. We are going to deal with the needs of the elderly. We are going to deal with climate. We are going to deal with paid family and medical leave. We are going to deal with housing. Virtually every major crisis that we are facing, he is prepared to deal with. I have not seen a president in my lifetime who has done that. Am I wrong?
Oh, let me get that last word there because it's like you're trying to convince her and the audience
to deal with. I have not seen a president in my lifetime who has done that. Am I wrong?
James, can you tell me off the top of your head, best you can do, can you name me you understand as a well-meaning, righteous president? Give me one. One well-meaning that you're sure of as well-meaning, righteous president. No? So, if there's a day where a president didn't bomb someone, would you be like, great achievement, great job? No. Oh, you wouldn't be proud of that. Okay, so it's like you're not considered good because these guys are so shitty, right? Oh, it's relative. Oh, okay. So, like, I can't be up here and be like, "Yo, Joe Biden's a good president." How come? Well, there's this guy named Genghis Khan who was murdered, like outright murdered on his horseback, chopping heads off and shit. That makes Joe Biden good. I can't just. Yeah, so I can't just say that, right? Okay. I also can't just go up on this TV show and just list off things that he might want to do, maybe, that, the normal people that pay attention to politics like this, that they look at Joe Biden and are like, you're going to give us like a corrupt version of this to where you can take advantage of it. You and your friends can take advantage of it. Okay. We just said like basically nothing then. Just please, Krystal, cut him some slack. Empty platitudes. Man. I wonder if Kyle would put it in, or not Kyle, because he got fucking swept aside. Let's see if Krystal puts it in those terms. Everything we just laid out right there. Let's see if Krystal can do that as a response. I know these guys are gonna say Krystal grilled him. Let's find out if Krystal grilled him.
Every major crisis that we are facing, he is prepared to deal with. I have not seen a president in my lifetime who has done that. Am I wrong?
I see that perspective, but I also
facing, he is prepared to deal with. I have not seen a president in my lifetime who has done that. Am I wrong?
I see that perspective, but I also see a president who's willing to let a lot of those agenda items be killed by the filibuster and the parliamentarian.
Oh boy, do I love politics. I fucking love politics where you could just rattle off words like that. Like, are you saying anything? Yeah, but how's he gonna combat the filibuster? What? Hey, Krystal, like, but Bernie, not only did he campaign for the Iraq War, he lied that he campaigned about it during his run against you. Now, is that like a guy who was willing to say anything to get anywhere in politics? You're telling me we should sit back and trust him because he said so? Let's talk about you. What have you been mealy-mouthed on? What have you been bullshitting about? Why should I take your word for it? You better go in the back room, find someone more trustworthy, and maybe they can sell it. And we still won't buy it. I mean, she just grilled the shit out of him. Did you not see that, James? Bro, what's wrong with you? Need help? Need me to translate for you? Listen, go to school, study some political science, and then you can understand why Krystal's question was grilling Bernie Sanders right there. I mean, genius. This is weird. This is multiple levels. Remember that trickle-down shit I talked about? Now look at the tiers here. Like, Bernie is up here, right? He's rich, politician, fucking guy, famous, right? And you have Krystal, who's right here, is like like indie YouTube famous. And you got the kind of popular, poppy YouTube guys. And then you have me. It's like we're all we're not all watching each other. I think I'm watching all of them and myself simultaneously. And they're only looking a tier above themselves. Like Krystal's not looking back at these guys, I don't think, unless it's for kudos. They insult her, they'll probably like, never mind, I'll never go on their show. But if she sees a compliment, she's like, yeah. And, keep my fingers on the pulse of the youth. Very interesting. Here we go. I love woo woo. I love just going there.
Am I wrong?
I see that perspective, but I also see a president who's willing to let a lot of those agenda items be killed by the filibuster and the parliamentarian.
Well, but
he's He's letting them be killed instead of, he doesn't actually, like, how do we take his word for anything? I only brought up the Iraq war, but there's a whole platter full of bullshit Joe Biden has said. No one cares. How'd you not bring that up? Are you like afraid of Bernie Sanders, like what he's gonna do? Or like upsetting him because you won't get another interview with him? Kyle's been doing nothing but dick riding for Bernie Sanders that campaign, and he got disinvited. Come on, bro. My God.
Willing to let a lot of those agenda items be killed by the filibuster and the parliamentarian.
Right. Well, but again, I don't want to defend them. I think the point you made a few minutes ago is exactly right. In this critical moment, when we're dealing with the future of the planet, when we're dealing with the future of democracy, you know what? I think majority should rule and not the. I believe that strongly. But don't think that he can snap his fingers, no matter what he may or may not believe, and make things happen. All right, there are senators.
Now, a lot of times, I know people used to tell me this during the campaigns because they were like, trying to help me understand these political characters, and they'd send me information, and they'd be like, hey, yo, this guy's paid by this group, this oil company, or this company, or that company. Could Joe Biden do that? I mean, theoretically, he could, right? Theoretically, he could be like, okay, well, I'm the fucking president, and I have a full fucking research team. We found out that this guy gets paid by this lady gets paid by this. All these people get paid by these companies. That's the only reason they're going this direction in regards to climate type policy, green type policy. Theoretically, he could do that, but he'd also be damning himself, right? I know Bernie didn't fucking bring it up. Maybe he doesn't know somehow. Maybe his crack research team didn't fucking figure this one out. But some kid at a fucking CNN town hall questioned Joe Biden on like having meetings for oil and gas and shit like that, and lobbyists, and meeting with these people and discussing things with these people, and then all of a sudden his policy starts leaning towards these people throughout his past and in the present. And for some reason Bernie doesn't see that, which would be like, come on, that'd be calling myself stupid if I believe that. I'd be insulting my own intelligence if I said he's not aware of that. He is next level full of shit, and Krystal will not call it out. She will let him slide. Huh? Gotta get that next interview, bro. You don't want to ruffle any feathers with Bernie Sanders, of all people. You might have TYT coming after you for it. You don't want that. And as far as we know, in this particular time period, these three guys, we'll see what they say, but I'm guessing here, based on the title and stuff, I'm guessing these three guys don't realize how she's fucking up. That's clearly fucking up to me. It's like, just being real. How about the filibuster? Kidding me? Isn't Joe Biden a fucking criminal? Holy shit. A whipping boy. You're a whipping boy. Or girl. Alright, let's continue. At 2 minutes and 40 seconds in. My God.
There are certain things he could do.
I'm not playing the whole thing. I'm not playing the whole thing.
For example, canceling student debt.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There are things he can
legalizing marijuana.
Yes.
He could potentially do through an executive order. And so there hasn't been a willingness, even though he says,
There's
yes,
no
I
human
support
questions
the
here.
$15 minimum wage. Yes, I support the PRO Act, to use all the tools that are at his disposal to actually make those things happen.
You're absolutely sure.
There's no human questions here. Like, yo, you really consider him like a good guy? Well, evidence shows that this. Then you can go into like your evidence of why, like, there's no way he could be a good guy and fuck up this badly. He'd have to be next level incompetent, in which case you should be rallying to get him out of office immediately. So, guys, if you're new here and you're a fan of whoever the fuck, or you're into the indie news, YouTube politics type stuff, I beg you, give me their platforms. Come to me instead. Come over here. Come to the Yellow Brick Road. I'll ask questions. I'll ask real questions. Not gonna dance around fucking Bernie's. You're not special, bro. This realm is too important to leave to, like, you're too special. I'm sorry, bro. Sorry. Plus, I'm a narcissist, so if I ain't special to you, there's no way these fucking guys are special. No way. If I ain't special, then there's no way Bernie's fucking special. Come on, bro. I'm better than Bernie Sanders. Let's be real about this. All right, here we go.
Better at his disposal to actually make those things happen.
You're absolutely sure of that?
Is that fair?
No. I mean, in other words, you do not know about the discussions that he has with people who walk into his office.
Okay.
No, it's wrong to assume that when you're dealing with a United States senator.
Oh, fuck, I learned this. Someone made me, who was it, ICU? Made me react to this, aka Mona too. Made me react to this thing called gaslighting. Right? Where it's like, I have information you don't know about. Now, I'm not saying Bernie's doing this because he could be honest. I guess it's theoretically possible that Joe Biden is seriously considering whatever the fuck, and he's having these conversations or whatever. But at the same time, it sounds like that thing, right? It's like, I know something you don't know, and I can't tell you either. I know something that I can't tell you. That's why you're wrong. Especially in a position like that. What secrets should you have in those positions?
No. I mean, in other words, you do not know about the discussions that he has with people who walk into his office.
Okay.
No, it's wrong to assume that when you're dealing with a United States senator who does not want to end the filibuster, that he can go in there and say,
better than you,
I
Dubster,
want
too.
you to do that. No.
Better than you too.
So don't give the president.
Although he could do what you proposed when you were asked on the trail, how would you deal with Senator Manchin? You said, I'd go to West Virginia. I'd do the rally.
Yeah.
I'd call him out.
Right. I mean, there are things you could do. All that I'm saying, do not minimize. I mean, and I don't want to get into personalities, but
Sure.
any member of the United States Senate has the power to kill this thing. And to think that the president alone can change that is not 100% correct.
Sure. But there are executive actions that he could take
All right,
on
look, look,
student
look.
debt and other things that he could
Look.
do. We can agree
Oh,
on
yeah,
that,
yeah.
I'm not,
right?
yes, you know,
Yes.
Joe Biden and I, marijuana, I think the war on drugs has been just a disaster for this country, for the African-American community. I think it should end. I think
Is it by accident, Bernie, or is it?
marijuana should be legalized. You're right. We do that fairly simply. But yeah,
I'm better than you too, Muay Thai. Get wrecked,
on
bro.
this piece of legislation, at the end of the day, if we are successful, this will be a major achievement.
So
Interesting,
Bernie
Krystal.
Sanders.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's kind of like, I can't really ask these questions. Can't really do this. Right? The thing. That was a good question. Only in the sense of Bernie's own logic of how he would try to get whatever passed by, like, pressing whatever person in whatever area. Granted, I still think it'd be a trash fucking thing. I'd be like, hey, look how fucking shitty this guy is. He sucks. Everything he fucking does, he sucks at. Politically speaking. Right? All his policies lean in one direction. Shitty. But, at least press him to some degree. And it's like, hey, Bernie, you could do that. First of all, you could do that now. You could press Biden on that. And also, Biden's the fucking president. You're telling me he can't get, like, a national platform whenever he fucking feels like? Come on, bro. It stands outside of logic. Dumb guy logic knows that. Terrible. Now, these guys are probably gonna give her kudos for that shit. She looks pretty happy about it. But for me, I'm like, that's still weak ass fucking questions, because you letting Bernie off the hook is him while he's letting Biden off the hook, while these guys are letting you off the hook, and someone's letting me off the hook, right? Like I'm safe. No one's gonna question me on anything. I'm 100% correct, right? You know what I'm doing? I'm turning the chat off so I don't have to deal with any type of pushback or, you know, I just want to win, you know? Oh, shit. Thanks, Pasta. $5 from the Convo Couch. I'm going to call you what disco guy was calling you at that march. I'll call you Noodle. Thanks for the $5, dude. All right. I mean, why stop here? Let's see what these guys have to say.
Simp machine. What the fuck? That was crazy. So sorry. That was absolutely shocking to me. You can call me naive, you can call me triggered, whatever the fuck. I expected more from Bernie Sanders. People have been like, he showed you who he is a million times. I still expected more from him than to just come in here and swat down any good point that Krystal made as just something frivolous. Reading his own
fair enough.
recipe back to him essentially, and having him just be, well, okay. Let's not talk about that anymore. He made a bunch of good points that I agree with. Okay, so let's talk about something else. Let's talk about this. And then it's just like, it's horseshit. It's complete horseshit because there's no pushing Joe Biden left. There's no holding him accountable. There's absolutely nothing. So, I mean, I don't even, I'll pass the torch.
Yeah, you know me. I'm always glad to jump in. I mean, one, that was a great Bernie impression. I gotta say that was spot on there. But I mean, one, he opens it up by talking about how these, climate is an existential crisis. This existential
you don't like my
threat
gray?
that
How
we're
dare
facing. And here Joe Biden stands with all this authority. And he's just sitting here making excuses for Biden. Krystal, and shout out to Krystal in this interview because I think she did a good job pushing back. It's not always easy to do.
I think it was mediocre. Oh. I think he might be going this. Listen to this.
And he's just
listen to Swiss
making
Beats.
excuses
Listen
for
to Swiss
Biden.
Beats. Listen to the direction he might be going.
Shout out to Krystal in this interview because I think she did a good job pushing back. It's not always easy to do. As somebody that has done interviews as well at this point, it's in the moment it is very hard. You got a list of questions you want to ask, and then you're trying to also listen to everything that they're saying and try to push back. And so it's very difficult to do. Anyone that like comments on the way that people interview, should
especially
try
a
it themselves.
Figure like Bernie Sanders. Everybody.
Oh wait, there's more to that. He's gonna add on to it.
The way that people interview, should
especially
try
a
it themselves.
Figure like Bernie Sanders. Every single person in this field has some sort of feeling for Bernie Sanders. It makes it harder, and she did a great job.
Absolutely, that cannot be understated. It is much more difficult to challenge somebody that you like, that you respect, that you have hold in high esteem, really. And so I think that what she did there, with the pushback was solid. To call that into question, and he just completely BS that. Like when she was like, well, what about the things that he can do through executive orders?
Okay. Huh? I was like, huh? He's like, yeah. Fuck that potato. All right, I will say this. It can be difficult. For sure. Me? Probably. How old am I? Like 7 or 8 years ago? Be 7 or 8 years ago? That'd be difficult for me to do. I knew I would know what I'd still have all that, training from studying these psychological ideas and philosophical ideas and epistemology and shit. I would know what questions would probably require to be asked, but I'd still be like, I don't know. I'm not here to make someone look bad or anything. But I know what they mean, I understand what he means. I get that. At the same time, when you feel that pressure of oh fuck, this is the whole point of me even talking to this other person is to make the world better. Now you have to you got to move at that point. Even if it's difficult. Even if you got to stop time for yourself, take 30 fucking seconds if you have to, sit there with your eyes closed and think about okay, what should be the next thing to fucking say? Because not everybody does that all the time. So it might be their first time talking to someone on camera, and they're like, okay, I need to sit and think about this and really, maybe I need to write it out or something. Maybe I need to take notes or something. There's a whole bunch of things you could do. So yes, difficult, but also, in my mind, necessary. If your goal is what you claim your goal to be. I think at least Krystal's stated goal is to make the world better, but who knows what her actual motives are. I mean, yeah. Also, her questions were mediocre to me. They were mediocre questions. That's why it's like the questions I would have in mind for a Bernie Sanders type person. Like, yeah. If she wrecked him, I fucking turn him to dust. As far as questions go. Oh, fucking, she grilled him. I think you'd have to make up a word for what would happen if I'm questioning him. Just be a justification. Being real about it. Alright, I guess that's it for this recording. I mean, I get it, guys. I get it. It can be difficult, and you're trying to socially look out for a person. You know, you're protecting their egos in a way by doing things this way, right? But for me, mealy mouthed. Like if I did that, I'd be like mealy mouthed. All right, it is what it is. And one day, if you keep it up, guess what? You're gonna be on people's crystal ball list. Like, oh, you're that guy now. Now you're one of these guys that we like. Yo, these guys are fucking soft. They're milk toast. Blah 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 blah. There's people already saying it now. Be real with you. There's people already saying this about you guys now. You're just adding to it. Called that a fucking grilling. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Fuck out of here. That was politics on politics. But there's plenty of wiggle room and creepers can slip through the fucking creases and you won't even fucking notice because you didn't ask the fucking questions. You didn't ask the hard questions. You asked the questions that like, ooh, political counter. Huh? Yeah, true that. But come on. Are they that ignorant? Are they that ignorant to be like, Joe Biden bad? How come you protect bad, Bernie? How smart do you got to be for that? Like, how much information do they need more on top of that? They already understand Biden as corrupt, right? You already understand Bernie is like a quote unquote. That's not. I don't know if they call him a sellout or not, but they probably do. But they at least call him like your image is hindered. Enough to say something suspect is happening with Bernie Sanders, right? Yeah. Do they have enough information to say something suspect is happening with Krystal Ball? I think they have that too. So, Krystal, why you let Bernie go when he protect bad guy? This is not hard. No. I think they are in the existential category of kind of like go along to get along. Existentially. Because of the lane they're in. Like if they're doing like music or something, I'd be like, okay. He didn't grill blah 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 for not, you know, for not singing live. He used recording instead. He didn't grill him. Yeah, that'd be important to me too. Fuck. Whatever. All right, guys. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to Devon's Journey to Recovery. Devon's Journey to Recovery. Helping out victims of Africom. Drones and shit. Also a GoFundMe. Stevie, aka Redneck Economics. Do it. Support her. Support her. When you do that, then you support Sleepy J after. Buy him a coffee. All links provided in the description box. With all that said, give this video a thumbs down.